Hello, welcome back to PlayStation Access. I'm Nath, I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave is angry at me for wanting to do this video at E3 because
I'm angry at you for being able to do this video because you got to play and I
just
didn't.
played The Last Guardian. Squeezed into an appointment. We're kind of packed up, ready to go to the airport, but we got to go and see it, and I got to play it, Dave.
Yes, Nathan.
Don't want to rub the... It's a joke, but it's also real. So I got to play from the beginning of the game.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like starts in the beginning, and you know, like we've been seeing.
Starts at the beginning.
Well, this demo started at the beginning. You see, he's actually angry, and there's the image of the huge chain going into like a hole in the ground.
Yes.
That has been around for ages, and it's still. I was kind of blown away. Like it's still there, man. It's still the beginning of the game. It's still like the central image that it all starts from. You wake up. You don't know why.
Okay.
You are the boy.
Yeah.
You are the boy. This creature is there with you. Trico or Trico, I don't know how you say it. Even.
Okay.
And before that, in the kind of the intro sequence, there's like a Darwinian series of like illustrations of, like as if someone was documenting various species.
Right.
And at the end, it just finishes. It does like big birds, and then at the end, it's got like the creature.
Yeah.
So that's just a nice intro. And so you wake up and you don't know why you're there, and there's like a voiceover, and it's you as an old man, kind of narrating the story.
Right.
And it's really. It's puzzly. Like it's a lot like Eco.
Yeah.
And
Good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And I'd forgotten how kind of freeform and open a lot of that was the first time I played it.
Yeah.
You weren't really sure what you were going to do. So you wake up, but this time the narration kind of hints. So what you say as an old man, you wake up and I was terrified and there was this big creature and he's wounded and he's wearing a kind of a chain and like an armor kind of plate maybe on the front of his face. And it says, I couldn't approach. It doesn't really tell you what to do.
Right.
And so I walked up to him lying down, and he kind of just like blew on me, kind of went, and I fell down. And the animation of the boy, who's like, he's got this white tunic on, and he's brighter than everything else in that world anyway. And he's got like these really kind of super realistic animations. So he's falling, like I walked into about 3 times, just fell over, loved it every time anyway. And then you realise you've got to maybe like. You can climb onto him at any time. You just jump on, jump with triangle, hold on with R1, and you can climb around his feathers. And I climbed,
so cool.
And I climbed up, and I took a spear out of him, and and it hurt him so much he knocked me out.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I woke up, and then I fed him some barrels, and he loves the barrels.
Right.
That's what he eats. They've got like blue inside them. I'm not sure what's inside them. But I was like in this opening room for like maybe 20 minutes. This guy didn't really know. He was still chained up, and you have to just climb up him and release the saddle that's on top of him. And then he's able to go into the next area, and then you're just like a 2-man puzzle crew, except for one of the men is a giant kind of creature.
That sounds amazing.
It's like, it's what I wanted,
I can totally remember that kind of thing from Eco. I remember not knowing we could hold hands in Eco, and like figuring that out, and
that's just like a tiny moment of
it was just like I don't know. I love that. I love that there's no like after 5 minutes it's going. Maybe you could climb on top, or
like zooming in and then freeze framing and going press triangle to hold hands.
Yeah,
it doesn't do any of that. I mean, it's got some controls, basic like jumping around controls.
Yeah,
and I just think I was going to spend loads of times just kind of climbing around. I jumped down with the boy once and it was slightly too high, and I just landed on my back. And he got up, and he's quite robust. But he looked like a kid falling out of a tree or something. Like he's like really realistic. I climbed. Trico was standing, and I climbed underneath him. Just like I was bouldering. And then I found like a magical mirror.
Okay.
Like a shield, and it's like a target. And this is where it gets. I'd not seen any of this. You aim it with circle, and you can just look around the world. And then Trico fires a powerful red laser, right? And so you can destroy bits of the environment to carry on. But a lot of your puzzling is just beckoning him. Like you can, like the kind of the forging the relationship between Yorda and Eco is a lot about him just calling her and her coming, and you kind of protecting her. And there's a lot of that, like, you can't really tell it, go exactly there, that's where I need you.
Yeah.
There's a very similar relationship where I needed to get up a ledge, so I would go near the ledge and I would beckon him over, and he would jump on top, and then, like, I grabbed onto his tail, and then he just kept on going. But it wasn't like he waited for me.
Yeah.
I had to get it right.
That's so smart, isn't it? You don't want to be moving a cursor around like you said, go exactly here. I need to climb. It should be a relationship.
Yeah, but in a way, then sometimes I was kind of thinking like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? There's a lot of that. Like I'm not really sure what I'm doing. But then when you do it, it feels kind of more natural, like the progression. And then there was this one point which just kind of blew me away, man. Like while I was playing and also in the game, which was me and the creature got to this kind of huge underground cavern.
Yeah.
We came at it from like a high tunnel, and I had to jump into the water and do a little puzzle, which freed up some barrels.
Right.
And then like the cave is kind of light, and the quality of the light in the game anyway is kind of. It's just beautiful. It just kind of picks out dust and butterflies and stuff. And there's strong sunlight in this waterfall at the end of the cave.
Right.
And I kind of figure out to get him, he doesn't really want to jump into the water. He's kind of looking at it like a cat, like waiting for his jump.
Cats hate water.
Well, exactly, yeah. So did Tricos.
Yeah.
And so I threw a barrel into the water, kind of thinking, that's how I can tease him along.
Because he likes barrels with blue in it.
He likes the blue, yeah.
Right.
And then he did jump in. And then there was just like he was so big that the level of the water swept up above the platform that I was standing on,
right,
and knocked me over. I kind of went back into like a completely different room, and I was just like, I'm not often like really surprised in games because you kind of know what they're going to do, but it was just like a moment of just like real originality, and I don't know, man. I just thought like Eco, which I loved, was very kind of, it's very cubey. There's like jump up this ledge, you can kind of measure everything, you know, like very square. And in this game, it just feels like, with the way the boy kind of tumbles around the world, and
just natural.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like more. It feels like it's kind of more organic. Like there's just more, which makes kind of figuring out puzzles maybe slightly harder, but also just makes the whole thing feel kind of more natural.
Well, sometimes it's okay to kind of like you did there, have an idea of what you've got to do, but not really why you've got to do it. Like I know this barrel's going to help me, but I don't know how, and then it kind of reveals itself to you. But it was just
a flourish of just like knocking me, like of course this giant thing, knock me over, the water's there, and then right at the end we emerged in this kind of world of beasts that like you got out to the sunlight, and that's where in the trailer you see him roaring, right? Because you freed him, and you get like this amazing sense of like now we're on an adventure.
That's great.
And I will be, and so will you, Dave.
I better be.
You will be. All of us. We all will be. Finally, it's like like after all this time playing it, feels amazing. Yeah. I'm really glad I could tell you guys about it. Thank you for watching. Thanks everyone in this room for doing one more video when they really wanted to go home. Thank you for watching from E3. Stay tuned to the channel. We do have loads more coming up.